Hi, I'm Christina Strongman, one of the information advisors in the Careers Service. Welcome to this session on how to find a part-time job in the UK for international students. In this session, I'm going to cover part-time work regulations and entitlement, where to look for jobs you can do while you study, and opportunities we offer to help you develop your skills. If you're studying on a student visa, before you can even start looking or applying for part-time jobs, it's really important to understand your entitlement to work in the UK, just to make sure that you're not breaking the conditions of your visa. For example, you might have restrictions on the amount of hours that you can work. For most students, a student visa usually allows paid or unpaid work with the following limits. If you're studying below degree level, for example, a pre-entry English language course, then you can only work up to 10 hours per week during term time. If you're studying at undergraduate level or on a postgraduate course, you can work up to 20 hours per week. Just to be clear, the amount of hours you can work is limited per individual week. It's not an average over several weeks. 20 hours per week is actually quite a big commitment, especially when you've got exams and coursework deadlines coming up. So think about how much you can manage, and we wouldn't recommend any full-time student to take on more than 20 hours per week anyway. During vacation time, you can usually work up to full-time hours, but you need to check your official vacation times with your school. Undergraduate students can usually work full-time over Christmas, Easter, and summer vacation periods. However, summertime is usually when postgraduate students are working on projects and dissertations, and so it's classed as term time, with the same term time working restrictions in place. The last point I would like to make about the amount of hours you can work is that this includes both paid and unpaid opportunities. Unpaid or voluntary work is different to volunteering. Any role with set hours and responsibilities is likely to class as work and count towards your 20 hours, unlike casual volunteering for a charity or project. Students who are volunteering don't have a contract, they aren't substitutes for an employee, and they're not doing unpaid work. Volunteers usually help a charity or voluntary or public sector organisation. Please contact us or the Student Advice Centre in the Students' Union if you're unsure about something you're being asked to do. For more information about your entitlement to work on a student visa, please have a look at the Student Progress website, the information from our visa team. You could also have a look at the UK Council for International Student Affairs. Just go to ukvisa.org.uk and then select Information and Advice from the drop-down menu and select Working and select Student Work. Your national insurance number is your personal account number for working in the UK. If you haven't already got a national insurance number, you can apply for one as soon as you're in the UK and looking for work. To apply, visit gov.uk and search for Apply for a National Insurance Number. The website provides information about what to expect. Once you've filled in the online form, you'll be asked to prove your identity via post or through attending an appointment. After you've done this, it can take several weeks to receive your national insurance number, so it's important to start this process as early as possible. All employers in the UK have a legal obligation to check that a job applicant is allowed to work in the UK before hiring them. This is usually known as a right to work check and involves an employer looking at your identity documents, such as your passport, and any immigration documents, such as your visa. Gov.uk have a system called Prove Your Right to Work, which allows you to upload your documents online. You'll receive a share code, which you can give to employers. Not all employers use this system, but it can speed up your right to work checks for any employers who do use it. You'll be expected to do this if you want to work on campus, for example. You might be wondering how much you're going to get paid for doing a part-time job, and this really varies depending on the type of job you do, but it can also vary depending on how old you are. In the UK, we have a national living wage for everyone aged 21 years and over, and a national minimum wage for those under 21 years old. The rates change every April. The current rates for April 2024 are: if you're 21 and over, The minimum wage would be £11.44 per hour. If you're between 18 and 20 years old, it would be £8.60 per hour. And if you're under 18 years old, then it would be £6.40 per hour. So if you see a vacancy where they've listed salary as national minimum wage or used the abbreviation NMW, then these are the rates they're referring to. This is what you can expect to get paid. We often get asked why the rates are different depending on age. This is to give businesses an incentive to take on younger workers who may have less work experience, but many businesses pay all staff the same at the higher rate. Also, many part-time jobs have a higher hourly rate than this. If an employer wants to offer you lower than these rates, please come and speak to us in the Careers Service or contact the Student Advice Centre in the Students' Union. For more information about salaries in the UK, visit gov.uk and search for National Minimum Wage. I'm now going to talk to you about where to find a part-time job, and I'm going to cover the three main approaches: looking for advertised vacancies, making speculative applications, and using recruitment agencies. There are lots of different places that you can search for advertised vacancies. The Finding a Part-Time Job page on the Careers Service website lists lots of resources to help you get started. There are two resources that I'd like to highlight that you might not have already come across. The first one is My Career. This is our interactive platform which we use to highlight graduate jobs as well as part-time jobs, work experience and volunteering opportunities. You can only access this resource if you're a Newcastle University student or graduate, so this is something exclusively for you. I'm also going to demonstrate the government's website, gov.uk, and their Find a Job resource, because this is another reliable source that a lot of businesses are familiar with. To log into My Career, visit mycareer.ncl.ac.uk or find the link on the homepage of the University Career Service website. If you're using the system for the first time, you'll need to complete a quick registration form before you start, but once you've completed that, it should be really straightforward to use. To look for part-time jobs, select Search and then Vacancies in the drop-down menu. You'll see this comes up with lots of different options. Scroll down the side filters until you see Vacancy Type, then select Part-Time. This will bring up all of the part-time opportunities that we're currently advertising. Once you're in the system, you can select any vacancy to find out more information about it, including salary information, closing date, and how to apply. To make it easier for you to find a vacancy again, you can use the actions to save the vacancy. Everything will save in your My Saved Vacancies folder, so you can come back to them and look at them again when you're ready to apply. Another great resource for finding part-time jobs is the Find a Job tool on the gov.uk website. To use it, go to gov.uk and search for Find a Job, then select Start Now. There are many different ways to use this site. You can create an account if you want to. This will give you some added features like email alerts and saved searches. To search for local part-time work, I always recommend to ignore the more specific search categories and instead scroll to the bottom and select Browse All Jobs. Next, scroll down until you see the location options and select Newcastle upon Tyne. This will bring up everything being advertised in Newcastle on this site. You'll then need to use the side filters to narrow this down to part-time work. Unlike My Career, this website is not designed for students specifically, and so part-time work could mean anything less than 37 hours per week. When you click on a vacancy, read it carefully and make sure that it fits with your hours and it's not a self-employed opportunity. If you're unsure, try to contact the organisation before you apply. Not all jobs are advertised, so I want to talk to you a little bit about a different approach, something that we refer to as a speculative application. This is about approaching employers directly about vacancies, even though they're not actually advertising anything. It's about being proactive and taking a direct approach. It's about identifying someone to contact and not being afraid to follow up on those conversations. For part-time jobs, we normally recommend looking for recruitment signs in shop or restaurant windows every time you go out. We suggest asking the businesses you visit if they're hiring staff and whether you can leave a copy of your CV with them. You could also try following local business news, for example in the Chronicle, to get an idea of businesses which are expanding. For more information, visit the Researching Employers page on our website. Another approach you can use in searching for a part-time job is to register with recruitment agencies. For those of you who haven't heard of or used recruitment agencies, they're paid to handle recruitment on behalf of another organisation. As a job seeker, recruitment agencies should always be completely free for you to use. If an agency asks you to pay them any money, please come and speak to us about it before paying them anything. Recruitment agencies advertise lots of jobs that you wouldn't see advertised anywhere else, so it's a really good idea to sign up with a few while you're looking for work. Just remember though, their purpose is to find someone to fill the position they're advertising, rather than to find a job for you personally. So continue applying speculatively or for advertised jobs at the same time. So how can you use an agency? Well, first you could register with an agency by uploading or sending them a copy of your CV. They would then arrange an interview to assess your abilities and types of work you're looking for. The agency would match your skills to suitable jobs they've got available. And if you did match something, you could have interviews with potential employers. Hopefully, you would get a good result from that and get a job at the end of it. There are lots of different ways to find agencies. I think the easiest is to go to yell.com and search recruitment agencies in Newcastle upon Tyne. You can find out more about searching for agencies and using them on our website. If you're thinking about looking for part-time jobs, you'll also need to think about how to apply for them. This really depends on the job you're applying for, but the most common methods are CVs and covering letters, or filling in application forms. If you're applying for advertised jobs, always check the job description and follow their instructions. I'm not going to cover how to make job applications in this session, but you can read advice and look at examples on our website. You can also find live events and pre-recorded sessions on how to make effective CVs and how to write effective covering letters on our events page. Now I want to highlight some of the other options open to you as Newcastle University students. This includes the opportunity for volunteering, internships with local businesses, and to find paid work on campus. There are lots of different reasons why you might be looking for a part-time job. Apart from earning money, you might want to gain experience, learn new skills, meet new people, and even practice your conversational English with local people. Volunteering is such a good way to do all of those things. Some students have told us they find it hard to get a part-time job because they don't have any previous work experience. Well, volunteering can be a great way to boost your CV and start making contacts. Jeff, an international student from Hong Kong, told us, "Volunteering has helped me to build my confidence, as I used to be quite shy before. I've made many new friends and it's given me a lot of good memories." As a Newcastle University student, you've got access to Go Volunteer, a team based in the Students' Union, who want to help you find the perfect volunteering opportunity. You might be surprised at the range of options they've had, everything from film and media to finance and IT. The examples on this slide include some of their community projects. Through working with Nest, you can empower the refugee and asylum-seeking community. You could offer study support by tutoring secondary school students, or get involved with green, growing and environmental projects through Grow Volunteer, and of course, many, many more. Have a look at what's on offer by going to nusu.co.uk, Select volunteering from the drop-down menu and click on Go Volunteer. If you don't immediately see something that you want to do, you can also talk to them about your interests, and they can help you find what you're looking for. Throughout the year, we arrange and advertise paid internships with local employers and university departments. The employers and supervisors we work with are aware of your study commitments, and so opportunities are designed to be flexible around your timetable. Have a look on My Career and use NCL internships in the keyword search to see what we have available right now. The university offers various paid roles for students on campus, which are usually advertised on My Career or directly through your academic school. Students also have the opportunity to gain temporary part-time work on campus. To access these opportunities, you must first register as a student worker via s3p.ncl.ac.uk and then request to join the Jobs on Campus Teams channel. Before you start any work assignment, you'll need to complete the gov.uk online right to work check and share the code along with your date of birth with recruitment@ncl.ac.uk. People Services will then arrange a right to work appointment with you. Only register as a student worker if you're interested in and ready for campus-based work assignments. If you don't complete any assignments within the first 6 months of registration, your personnel record will be deleted and you'd need to re-register for any assignments after this date. Some of you may prefer to be based at home. I wanted to mention some of the virtual opportunities on offer. Remote paid work is possible to find, particularly in areas such as customer service. You can use the job sites listed on the Finding a Part-Time Job page and try search terms like remote work or home-based. If you're studying on a student visa, you'll need to make sure that anything you apply for is not a self-employed opportunity. You must be classed as an employee for any work you do to make sure that you're not breaking the terms and conditions of your visa. While you're looking for paid work, there are other virtual opportunities available to help you boost your skills and your CV. You could try completing a virtual internship with organisations such as Forage. Virtual volunteering is also possible. For example, the United Nations have a virtual volunteering programme which they've run for many years. There are also many free online courses which you can take part in. For example, Google Digital Garage or massive open online learning course providers such as FutureLearn. You can find more ideas of how you can boost your employability from home on our website. Whatever you decide to do with your spare time, the university wants to recognise and reward you for your achievements. Gaining our NCL Plus award involves attending 2 workshops or completing 4 short online learning units, answering 3 questions and doing 40 hours of extracurricular activity. Find out more about this award in the Gain Skills and Experience section of our website. Our website holds a massive range of information which is designed to be inclusive for all of our students. However, we do recognise that if this is your first time looking for work in the UK, you might have some additional questions. And so we've provided extra information specifically for international students, which you can find on our International Student Pathway. This is available for all current students and graduates in the Pathways section of My Career. Thank you for listening to this session. I hope that it's answered your questions about finding part-time work in the UK and given you an overview of some of the opportunities on offer. If you'd like to get in touch with us for support, please visit our website at ncl.ac.uk/careers and we'd be happy to help.